Maidaan ends as most sports films usually do, with the underdog's victory. There is agony and sweat and blood. It's gutting and so moving that I was in tears. But that first half and the punishing duration demand patience and endurance. The climax of Maidaan is a glorious, soaring slice of cinema. The film is based on the life of coach Saeed Abdul Rahim, who was the key architect of the golden era of Indian football. Between 1952 and 1962, under Rahim's tutelage, the Indian team won gold in the Asian Games and played the semi-finals in the Summer Olympics. Since then, no Indian football team has even qualified for the Olympics. Maidaan ends as most sports films usually do, with the underdog's victory. Before the win, we get the locker room speech, the gold standard for which is Shah Rukh Khan's 70-minute speech in Chak De India. This is material we've seen before. And yet, director Amit Ravindranath Sharma sweeps us into the enormity of what these boys accomplished and the unbridled emotion and magic of that moment. There is agony and sweat and blood. The stakes are higher because Rahim is battling something even bigger, but all of it is pushed aside in the quest for gold and glory. It's gutting and so moving that I was in tears. The challenge, however, is the narrative leading up to this. Maidaan is nearly 3 hours long. The story is remarkable, but it's largely been forgotten. In an interview, Amit said that Ajay Devgn, who plays Rahim, also asked, "Why haven't I heard of this man?" And yet the beats of the narrative are overtly familiar. A coach gathering unlikely players and molding them into a formidable fighting unit. The coach battling against federation politics and apathy. The sacrifices that a family makes to chase the sport's dream. Racism and bullying on the field. The threadbare amenities the team has. Breathless commentators explaining what we're seeing. The unexpected win. And of course, the profound sense of nationalism that is inevitably baked into these stories. We've seen versions of this play out in Chak De India, 83, Jhund, Dangal, Bhag Milkha Bhag, Mary Kom, Gold, and so many more. A sense of déjà vu is inevitable. Amit has a great talent for constructing emotion. Do watch the ads he's made for Google and Facebook. Even in a few minutes, he can reduce you to a teary mess. His artistry comes to the fore in the Maidaan climax, but for much of the preceding film, he selected a more clinical storytelling style. Rahim's story unfolds in a dry and predictable way. The matches are choreographed with energy and rigor, but they quickly become repetitive and eye-glazing, especially if, like me, you have little interest in the sport. By all accounts, Rahim was a reserved man with focus and passion, which makes him a great fit for Ajay, an actor who thrives on brooding intensity, stoic silences, and contained expression. Less has always been more for him. Ajay plays Rahim with stillness, with elegance. Priyamani, playing Rahim's wife Saira, is also well cast. She combines gentleness with authority. There's this wonderfully written scene between husband and wife in which Saira shows Rahim the way forward. But this depth doesn't extend to Roy Chaudhary, played by Gajraj Rao. Roy is a leading journalist who's introduced with the line that this man can break or make governments, but his first love is football. Rahim and him take an instant dislike to each other, and Roy thwarts Rahim at every step. In his last feature, Badhai Ho, Amit gave Gajraj a career-defining role. But in this film, the actor is reduced to playing a one-note schemer. Maidaan's story is by Saivan Quadras, Akash Chawla and Arunava Joy Sen Gupta, with screenplay by Saivan, dialogue by Ritesh Shah, and additional screenplay by Aman Rai, Atul Shahi and Amit. There is so much collective talent, but Roy remains a cliché. He just keeps showing up at key moments to deliver stinging lines. The actor does what he can, but there is little impact. Rudranil Ghosh playing his sidekick is also forgettable. Maidaan benefits from the camera work by Tushar Kanti Ray and Fyodor Lyas, who shot most of the football match sequences. Though there are way too many aerial shots of packed stadiums. I also wish the film had a more rousing anthem. The music by A.R. Rahman is curiously bland, but do stay for the end credits when you see some of the real players, now elderly, even infirm. You want to salute them. You'll also want to salute casting director Vaibhav Vishant. As the end credits roll, we see photos of the real players alongside the actors who played them. The resemblance is startling. Even though most of us have little idea what the real players look like, Amit and Vaibhav have made the effort to find actors who could be their twins or at least siblings. These actors include Chaitanya Sharma, also known as Slow Cheetah. Maidaan is about the power of one. It's a story that deserves to be in the spotlight. But that first half and the punishing duration demand patience and endurance. If you're willing to go the distance, you will be rewarded. You can watch Maidaan at a theatre near you.